how do you navigate when you and the coach are not side by side on a player?
So I think the first thing to that point, that's a really good initial question. As a general manager, ultimately you're in charge of acquisitions, college and pro. So they fall on you. Even if you don't have Final 53, Scott, that's your role. So it is imperative leading into, the side by side or not side by side with the head coach. It gets use my line, it gets dusty at times. Sometimes it's really smooth and everything. You're in line, you're high-fiving when you acquire them during the draft or in free agency and when they're doing well. When you're at loggerheads on a player, and rarely was I with Dan, that just wasn't our approach. We did disagree with people. But when that happens, if for instance he wanted a player and I didn't, and we brought that player in, you want to talk about waves of emotion. There could be hints of anger, irritability, resentment. I wish I could take this back. What was I thinking? It does ultimately come back to the GM saying, whether I disagreed with the head coach and he was wrong, doesn't matter, because in the end, that was my job and that was my responsibility to make sure that we got it right. Come hell or high water, it had to be as close to being right as possible. So I could look at the head coach and say, well, he was wrong, and feel a little agitated about that, or the coordinator, which we could get into, or the position coaches, or the scouts. It ultimately comes down on the general manager.